just did
We'll
that.
start with the pledge of the flag. Try not to trip on my bag.
Well, I'm trying not to run over.
I know.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
It's okay.
With sandals on it.
Between his bag and your
And my
toes, it's
sandals.
like,
Run over her toes.
you
All right,
run.
we'll start the meeting tonight with can I get a motion to approve the village board meeting minutes from September 5th, 2019?
Move.
Second that.
Any changes or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 3 on the agenda, citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to address the board, come to the microphone, give us your name, address, and what's on your mind.
Good evening. I'm Bill Becker, live at 53 Mildred Ave. We've been here before. I just was curious to know if any decision has been made yet on the sidewalks pertaining to Mildred Ave.
I don't know if anything specifically has been decided. We have stopped paving. The company had other places to go and said if they would try to come back towards the end of the summer. So we'll figure something out when they tell us they're coming back. But I can let you know as soon as we figure out one way or the other.
So there has been no decision made yet? Oh, okay.
It just kind of got put on the back burner because there was no paving going on. So
Will we be notified when
I'll
it?
notify you.
I think we, just my opinion, we should probably discuss this and make a decision so these people don't have to come back at every meeting if they don't rather not. We can talk about it and come up with a consensus of which way we're going and let you know.
But we will inform you.
I appreciate you coming down the night after the meeting to taking a look. That was very helpful.
Well, I do live over in that area, and so I wanted to see how far the setback would be compared to my sidewalk. I don't see much difference, to be honest with you, but I live on Syracuse Street, and the curbs are a little bit more substantial on Syracuse Street, so I did want to take a look at it and at least be able to talk about it intelligently. So, and I'd encourage anybody else. I think Andy's been down there. I think
I've been too.
several of us have actually been down there.
I have to be outside, so I have to see you, so.
Yep.
And, but Syracuse Street does have the curbing where Mildred does not have curbing, and the houses on the side do have the sidewalk on the opposite side, the front full length. Those houses set back farther, so.
I will tell you that I don't think any of us has seen, there was one gentleman that was here who was talking about the inability to maybe park cars without being on the sidewalk. Haven't really seen, I think there's enough depth in the driveways to accommodate vehicles, but we should talk about the overall, your comments and the other residents in the area and make a decision and let you know.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
We will let you know.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You bet. Anyone else wishing to address the board? Okay, we'll move on to trustees' comments. We'll start with Andy.
All set, just the agenda?
Michael?
I'm going to ask for a brief executive session for a personnel matter.
For what?
Personnel matter?
Okay. Okay, that'll be item C. All right, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Meg?
Just the agenda.
Bruce?
Stick to the agenda.
Ruth?
Agenda for me too?
Did you tell people it's 2 months from now?
Oh, sorry. 2 months from now, on November 30th, is our annual tree lighting and parade of lights. And there'll be more to come on that. Thank
I knew
you.
you were excited.
I am
I
excited.
want you to hold that in. Mark?
I will also need to have a brief the board on current status of PBA contract discussions, so executive session for that. And other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
Okay, that's item D.
You can actually put mine after his.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but that's how we should discuss it.
Same room.
Yes.
So we're having 2 executive sessions. one, back to back. All right. Mayor's comments. Was at the library the other day. They had a thank you for all the people who volunteer at the visitor center for the summer. They do a terrific job. They're the first people that the boaters who come in from out of town run into. And when they want to know a good place to eat, or where's the police station, or where's the library, where's the post office, and those people are pretty dedicated. And so I went down and thanked them, and it was really, they really enjoy it. So don't forget that September 28th, Taste of Baldwinsville on Paper Mill Island, free admission, and they'll have all the restaurants that participate, which is, from what I've seen, is just about every food place in the village, will have a $1 menu item, or you can get a full-size menu item. I think they'll be limited to like their specialty type thing. And there'll be a couple of the breweries will be out there. Get nice weather, should be a very nice event. Don't forget also the Ghost Walk, October 4th through 6th. This is the Center for the Arts is putting that on. If you have any need of information or you want to volunteer, go to info@baldwinsvillearts.org. And Jim Dale will be happy to take care of you. Other than that, I don't have anything else. We'll move to department heads. Attorney, Bob?
Just one item. If you recall, at the last meeting, I discussed the fact that we needed to step up our review of the 5G regulations. I had left for each of you a copy of the recommendations from the planning board. Greg's not here today, so I will go over those with him. But one of the things that I do suggest, and he and I had discussions about how the village should handle this, and in some municipalities, particularly a lot locally, they have adopted regulations specifically tailored to the use of telecommunications facilities in the municipal right-of-way. Our telecommunications chapter deals with the use of telecommunications facilities anywhere in the village. And actually, it has a provision in it that says that any area where siting or site plans or building permits are not required are exempt from that. Well, anything that goes on in a village-owned right-of-way may not necessarily need a village permit, a building permit. So my thought is that we have a piece of legislation that deals directly with what happens in village right-of-ways, because among other things, the village board needs to adopt fees, both annual fees and the fees for applications, particularly in determining that you get a fee for each and every little small cell that comes in. So I have that pretty much prepared, and I'll get that to him. I wanted to wait for the planning board recommendations to come in, so we're ready to go on that, and I'll get something at the next meeting. But other than that, I'll stay on the agenda.
Bob, are you aware of where they are with the 5G in terms of putting in towers anywhere in central New York?
No, I don't. I know there's been discussions, but I don't know where any. I'll check that out, because we have, our office represents 2 of the towns in the county, and I will see if they've done anything. I know that both of them, I believe, have adopted regulations, so I'll see if they've actually had discussions on it.
Okay.
I was told that things were going very slowly.
I think I had heard they were going to start in Syracuse, in the city.
Boston and a couple in California and Seattle, maybe. I've read about them.
I think they want to start in highly compacted areas, as opposed to going out into the country, which is why cities may go first, villages second, and then towns last, because they don't want to be out there spending money. 5G's not even here yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'll find out.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. Village clerk, Mo.
I just wanted to give you a little update on the handbook. The week after next, Mike and I are going to be meeting with a gentleman from the place that's going to be doing our handbook. And at that point, we are going to give him our edits and go over a few other things.
I'll try to make sure I can be here, just in case there's any questions.
Yeah.
You don't need me, but
Right, but I thought maybe that someone from
Yeah.
the board should have.
What day is it going to be?
Shooting for, I believe it's October 9th at 1.
Okay. I think I saw that on an email, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Otherwise, I'll see.
Very good. We'll move on to our treasurer. Anna?
Everyone should have received their August financials, and I just want to point out a couple of things on our revenue page, the very first page. Line A1121, county infrastructure, we did receive our first payment of the $383,000, and also I put the line back out there on A2001.3 for the Paper Mill Island Ticket Commission, so that everyone can see how much we've taken in year to date. And also, we've received our Vicarious Legacy payment for their agreement. We used to have it up in our pilots line. It's now down in our miscellaneous line. So if you see 84,000 down there, that's what that is.
Took care of that question.
Line A2770.
Took care of that question.
Okay,
Very good.
and that's all I have.
Very good. Thanks, Anna. Move to the other side of the room now. Senior Center, Ruth?
Just one more mention about our walk, which is this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Walk for the Woods. Please join us if you're free. It's fun, it's quick, and it's a real benefit to our senior center. Also want to encourage folks to get your flu shots, and if you do choose to come and get one, it's October 11th at 9:30. We'll have one more opportunity at the senior center. That will be November 1st, also at 9:30. So we really want to encourage people to get that flu shot. And one more, which is kind of a unique party, but for those that enjoy it, we want to make sure they know when it is. So October 10th is our Limburger Cheese Party. You do need to make a reservation by September 27th. So that's November 10th. Make your reservation so you don't miss out on it. It's a popular event, so we want to make sure folks get there that want to take part in that. And that's it, unless anybody has a question.
Move to Public Works. We get honored with Foreman Chuck McCall up here tonight. What's new, Chuck?
Oh, and as you can hear, I think this is our last big event on the island for the year. I think this is it for him. And most of them, they've all gone. I don't think we've had a lot of problems with any of them. They've gone well. They've gone well.
Been a good summer.
Yep. You'll see all throughout the village, picnic tables coming out missing here, 3 and 4 at a time. We're trying to resurface them all. And they're going out and grabbing 3 and 4 and put them in the back of the building there and resurfacing them, getting them back out again. Of course, the biggest talked about thing in the village that's still here is the flowers. We hear more about these flowers this year. And we did do a little different water them this year and different types, and it's crazy, but even people that don't know much about flowers comment about them, and then they're still going. They don't normally last this long, but they're still out there. The highway this week's been pretty much special project week. They spent a few days building forms for the lookout. What do we call it? The lookout down there on Meadow Street. Got concrete poured today. We found a home for our concrete, and we've got most all of that cleaned up. It's been most of the week with 3 trucks, and it looks pretty good down there. We've moved a lot of material.
And mowed a lot of stuff, yeah. Looks,
Well,
Meadow Street looks entirely different than it did 10 days ago.
crazy, they did that with a payloader. We don't have a mower to go in there, and when Adam was loading trucks, he went over and just mowed all that stuff down, and it looks great. It just does. And actually, a lot of people, it's crazy because they're working over there all the time, and there's more people walking that during the day. The guys say, every time we turn around, somebody's walking behind us. So there's a lot of people using that, and a lot of people have commented they feel safer because they can see better down there now, and the weeds weren't so high, and that worked out well. On the water side, I met with the people here for the old Burger King today. They want to use a hydrant. We're not big on letting them use a hydrant. They want to use a hydrant for the next 2-3 months, but it gets cold, and they're excellent to work with. I met with the project manager down there. They may use the old service that comes out of there, but it was nice. I went into their trailer, and they're real good to talk with, open to whatever we wanted. Also down there on the Lock Street project, they're extending that water main. They got the sewers in all the way down to Wood Street. They're chlorinated pressure test it and chlorinate it today. And if all goes well, this week that'll be turned on, and we'll complete that 6-inch or the 8-inch loop that loops into our system down there, and that'll boost the pressure down there. We wanted to complete that loop for a long time. They were interesting. They were doing some of the taps, and they were doing them themselves. And we have an old, what they call an old B machine, and we haven't used it in a very long time. And we took the machine out, and they used it. And some of our new employees, actually, there was great training. They went down there and saw how it was done. And we bring them down for some of the inspections so they can see how the pipes are put in and how all that worked. And that worked out really well for us. The Alberici family down there is just fantastic to work with. You know, any issues we've ever had with them they've been ironed right out. They're just great to work with, and we're helping them get through their testing there a little bit, and hopefully that'll come through this next week. We installed real-time chlorine analyzers in both plants here in the last couple of weeks. We're not mandated to have them, but we got those put in, and they're nice. I can see them from my phone. You can see if the chlorine goes down a little bit or up a little bit, it alerts you. You can actually see the real-time readings on them, where it works very well. November, Matt and Corey in the water department are going to be going to get their 2B license. We're going to send them for training to get those licensed so we can get them up on board. Brian and myself are getting closer to being eligible to retire, and so we want to get these guys certified and up online, and that's going well. Matt's the newest employee, and lots of times the only issue is lots of times we have to take him with 2 people because there's a lot of stuff he hasn't seen, but he's picking up real well, and it's working out. It's working out really good for us. I think that's it, unless there's any questions.
I was down at the Overlook, or Lookout, or whatever we're calling it. It's pretty cool down there. It was very nice, and I had seen your note to Steve saying the trail really looks different and good, and I was amazed at how well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how they got rid of it all, and then he was showing me, Adam was just taking the bulldoze type effect and cleaning everything off, and
we don't have a bush hog, and the regular mowers, you just can't put them in there. You know, they'll trash them. But I was really surprised when I went down there. I said, "What did you do?" And he told me. I said, "Really?" And it worked out well.
I think people are really going to enjoy that. It's a nice
In the
location.
wintertime, people are walking through there. It's used more than you think. He said to me today, every time they turn around, there's somebody standing there.
Well, that's good to hear.
You know, so there's a lot of people going up and back there. It's highly used.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yep.
Move on to the police. Mike?
Before my comments, Mayor, I would just like to correct a statement by Chuck here to my left when he indicated that he's getting close to eligibility for retirement. Chuck and I started just a few months apart our full-time employment with the village, and we both reached that eligibility some time ago.
Thank you for that.
So I did issue a memorandum to the board outlining some legislative changes that are going to impact, and in some cases quite significantly, law enforcement operations, not just here in the village, but statewide. I'll have some further conversations, certainly with the entire board, but especially the Public Safety Committee, and how that's going to impact us and the implications as we move forward. But I did want the entire board to be aware of that. Obviously, if anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me at any time with that. And then we do have a couple officers this week finishing up a 40-hour crisis intervention team training that deals with is training geared towards individuals that have some emotionally disturbed issues going on. So when our officers come in contact with them, we've got a cadre of staff that will be specially trained to deal with them, and then hopefully refer them to service. But ultimately, the goal is reducing the number of transports that law enforcement has to get involved in with individuals that are suffering from those crises down to a CPAP or some other facility for them to hopefully have some other outreach opportunities for them. And through the IACP, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, they recommend at least 20% of your force goes through the CIT training. This will bring us up to, I believe, 4 or 5 people, and we have some other people plan to go in October and November as we move forward as well. So we think this is very beneficial training for our folks, and it's held locally here. This one's held over in Solvay. There's no cost to this, so this is very beneficial for the organization and hopefully for that segment of the population that we might come in contact with that is in some sort of emotional or mental crises.
Very good.
Other than that, unless there's questions, Mayor.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes, sir.
No pending business, we'll move on to new business. Item A, discussion, possible action, improving the Ballsville Lions Club's Craft and Family Fun Festival event to be held on Saturday, October 5th, Sunday, October 6th at Diane Reeves Memorial Park. Get a motion, maybe, to
Moved. To allow them.
they're gonna have a huge big tent and some smaller tents, and they're hoping to have all kinds of vendors, food, and so on. This had been approved by the Little League Committee for the fields, and our agreement talks about anything out of the ordinary has to be approved by the village, so we're just doing our thing by approving it. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Item B, motion. Can I get a motion approving the newly created operational procedure entitled Recovery of Overdue Water Bills on Outside User Accounts and authorizing the clerk's office and the DPW to begin implementing the procedure?
Move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm gonna suggest we table this unless there's some overriding requirement to have this done this evening. I've reviewed it, I have some suggested changes to the text, and rather than get into a lot of wordsmithing here, I'd rather do that with Steve and get it done when he's present. So if we can meet next time in DPW committee, maybe come up with something that's this doesn't need to be complicated. I think there's some gray areas in here that might lead to some questions on notification, and we want to make it very simple if we're going to do this.
Okay. Everybody all right with putting that off for 2 weeks?
Okay.
All right, so we'll table that. Anything else before we go in executive session?
Curious. Did you have any mayor's comments?
We made some comments.
Did you? Okay.
Were you sleeping?
Yeah. Just doing DPW's work.
Oh, I talked about the ghost walk and
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that.
Could I, before we leave, the manager of the Red Mill had come to me early in the year expressing some issues, and I brought them up. And he came to me this week and sang the praises of the police department, of the DPW, and of Chuck for resolving those issues. He's had a very smooth summer, and he's thankful for the village response. So I want to share that with you guys.
Thank you, guys. Nice when you make us look good. It's hard to do, you know? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session, 2 of them, one a personnel matter, one an update on PBA contract items?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No action anticipated.